Hello everyone, I'm TJ, and if you're watching this on YouTube, then you probably know me from my technology-focused videos that I do. And if you're watching this on Facebook, you probably just know me in person. But tonight I wanted to give you guys an intimate look into my life living with a condition called Moebius syndrome. And the main reason I'm doing this video is to spread awareness of this rare neurological condition that I've lived with since birth. But also because this week is Moebius Syndrome Awareness Day, and I usually do post something on Facebook about it, and I talk about it a little bit. But this year I wanted to take it a little bit further and actually do a video giving you better insight into what it's like living with this condition. And my other hope for this video is that people with all kinds of conditions or disabilities, if you will start to come out a little bit out of their shell and express their views and talk about their lives living with these conditions. And I think it's so important to do so because I think I see this happen a lot. People with I like to say conditions. I don't like to say disabilities because I believe that wherever you might feel that there's a disability in you, there's always something that you can do and you can express something that someone else cannot. So I like to say conditions, but so I find that when people come out of the shadows, so to speak, they come out of their shells, then they start to just talk about these things. It promotes a wonderful understanding between them and the people around them. And why not bring this to a very public level and talk about it openly? So that's what I want to do with this video. And people that know me personally, you probably know I've talked about it in the past. I like to talk about it because I think that it's actually less comfortable for me to have somebody just look at me and go, what the heck is going on with that guy? I'd rather have them just talk about it with me and say, hey, what's going on? What is this that you live with? And we can discuss it openly. So Moebius syndrome is when the 6th and 7th craniofacial nerves are not developed, and it causes facial paralysis. As you can see, I can't move most of my face. You can't move eyes side to side. So my eyes are not, I can't move my eyes side to side, which obviously causes some challenges with things like driving, because you don't really have that greater peripheral vision. So things like driving have been a challenge that I personally have not been able to conquer yet. Although, again, like most things about Moebius syndrome, it really varies on a case-by-case basis. So, where I have a struggle with, somebody else might not. So it just depends. But other things include my tongue is partially paralyzed, which causes the speech challenges. And although I must say my speech has improved a lot since I was really young, it's still not perfect. And of course, I could just give you a laundry list of things that the bones are fused together in my feet, and my left leg is kind of crooked, and some development went wrong with the bones in my left leg and my left foot, and I have arthritis in both feet. I have a little bit of in my hand here, as you can kind of see, there's like a little bit of abnormality with the forming of the bones in my wrist and my arm and my hand. I suffer from some physical issues with hands. I actually do have very bad hand coordination, which it does cause some challenges in life, but nothing that I can't usually overcome. But as much as I can sit here and talk about how Moebius syndrome has affected me physically, which I certainly could, I think the most important thing to focus on is the social impact of this condition. Because, and again, like I said earlier, it depends on the person that lives with Moebius syndrome. But I know for me, I've always just hoped that people that interact with me on a day-by-day basis and who might not know me personally, I always just hoped that they never took me as unfriendly because I couldn't smile. Because again, I can't lose my face, I can't smile. I have to hope that just conveying a bubbly personality and being friendly and just treating people with a great deal of respect until they give me a reason not to, of course. I've always just hoped that was enough. And I hope it is. I hope that I've never come off as unfriendly. And naturally, I couldn't blame somebody if they thought I wasn't, because they might not know. But I think that impact has been something that I thought about a lot. Another way that impacts me socially is something I really don't talk about very much, but in the aspect of dating and romance and finding love, because I like to think that most people aspire to do so in their lifetime. I've definitely had my doubts about that in my life, because I've always felt like every time I thought I got close to getting to a point with a woman that maybe I reached a level where they could get past the physical barrier. I feel like there's not a physical barrier, but an invisible barrier when someone looks at another person, and that person might have some physical differences caused by a condition like Moebius syndrome. I feel like it does hinder how the person views you. And I think it's hard to, and this is only human nature, I understand this, but I think it's sometimes difficult for a person to get past that barrier and get to a level of attraction when there is a condition present, like Moebius syndrome. And again, I want to be very careful how I say this, because that's not always the case of people with Moebius syndrome. I know people that have Moebius syndrome and are married or are dating, and so it's not everyone. It's definitely a case-by-case basis, but I know I'm not alone in feeling this way, because I've also had many talks with people that have Moebius syndrome, thanks to these wonderful resources on Facebook, the Moebius syndrome community groups, and whatnot. And so I know I'm not alone in feeling this way, and I don't honestly know that there's a way to solve that social issue in terms of people with Moebius syndrome, or any kind of condition that affects your physical appearance for that matter. But with this video and other videos like this, like mine, I can only hope that maybe people begin, there becomes a wider understanding of the fact that you can't always just look at somebody at face value. And I really like that expression. I'm actually kind of stealing that from the Moebius Syndrome Foundation. This is their current slogan, I believe, for the Moebius Syndrome Awareness Day for this year. They're saying, it says, "Look beyond face value." And I really like that. I think that really sums up nicely how I feel about this in general. I hope that people can begin to, understand that people that have Moebius syndrome and any other physical condition, they want to be seen just like anyone else, and they want to have what everyone else has in terms of social, social interaction, I guess is the right way to say it. And that a lot of times it doesn't happen. And for me, I've always been quite blessed that I had a lot of wonderful friends and family, and in high school I was always, for the most part, treated well. There was some, I wouldn't say bullying, just some unkindness towards me sometimes, but again, that's something that's just common for at least everyone in high school and elementary school, whatever, grade school, I guess you can just say. And so I wouldn't say that's something just unique to me, because it's not. But there was some unkindness towards me, but nothing that ever made me feel like it was because of my condition. And So I would say, overall, while I do feel like it hasn't hampered my ability to find love, if you will, or romance, or any kind of something related to that, I haven't given up hope. And I hope that anybody that has Moebius syndrome or doesn't have Moebius syndrome, any kind of condition, is watching this. I hope you guys don't give up hope either, because it's never too late. And I feel optimistic that eventually someone will come along that will just be the one. And, I'm not trying to sound tacky or cheesy when I say that, but, it's definitely possible that it'll happen. And I don't want to focus too much on that in this video, because the possibility of finding romance or something does not consume me. There's many aspects to my life, but that's just one of them. Another thing that I hope is that, talking about looking beyond face value, is I hope that people start to realize that there's a lot of conditions out there that cause physical abnormalities and speech challenges, but it does not, you should not assume that you know what a person's condition is until you speak to them about it and you learn about them. And other than that, I think that's really the essential component of this video that I wanted to discuss. And so, moving on from this, is I've never dwelled on Moebius syndrome. It's never been something that I thought about too much as being something that dictates my life. It never has. I've always believed that it's a part of who I am, but in a good way. I've never seen it as negative. Sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes it does make me, I'm only human. I've had some darker times in my life, times where I wish that I didn't have this condition. I think that's only normal for people in any kind of condition like this. But at the end of the day, I never felt bad about myself for too long. And I always remembered that, it could be a lot worse. I am considered to have a relatively mild case of Moebius syndrome. So I consider myself very blessed for that. And on top of that, I couldn't do this video without mentioning the one person in my life who has always kept me going, always reminded me not to feel sorry for myself, and always motivated me to do better. And that is my mother, Donna. And she's always been that person that helped me basically become the person I am today. She helped me to develop my values and learn about who I am and who I didn't want to become. And she helped me learn who I didn't want to become because, she helped guide me in this direction of becoming somebody that talks about my condition and not just hides in the shadows and is too afraid to talk in public. That was never me, because of my mother telling me I am absolutely worthy of basically doing anything I want to do. So, with that being said, though, really, I've had a lot of great people in my life that helped me become who I am today. My mother is the biggest one for sure. So, with that being said, I want to end this video by saying, please, with Moebius syndrome Moebius syndrome Awareness Day coming up this week, please remember that people with any kind of disability just want to be seen as everyone else. They want to have that interaction socially and like everyone else. And I think that's so important to remember. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Please share this video if you will, and I'll see you in my next video if you do follow me on YouTube, that is. And if you're watching this on Facebook, thanks again for watching.